Hello, time for Sentry Loader. Okay. First thing you have to do, you have to go to the SAB Studios Google Drive. It's for SAB patrons starting from $1. You can get access to this stuff. And you get to the portable files and send to the body and download this HAR file. You unpack it in any folder and you might have something like this. You unzipping in these other two folders are going to exist. So after that, you can go to the add-ons folder and download the Sentry body loader. It's this zip file and install as a normal add-on in Blender. What you have to do, this add-on works by triggering the Sam 3D body loader, the Sam 3D body, and you have to select the folder. Remember that portable folder? In this case, this folder. You select this guy, Python, and accept. About the Sam folder, you have to select the other folder, the Sam 3D body folder. Select it. And now you have to select the checkpoint. To get the checkpoint, you need to get the Dino V3 or VH model. Clicking on this button, one of these buttons, you can go to the Hugging Face page to request. You need to request a possibility to download, and after then allowing, you can download the model. You just click on it and it will load the page. It's a page like this. In my case, I already have access, so I can go to the file version and download this CKPT file. That's what you need to use in the add-on. So you go to the checkpoint and select the file. By the way, usually I use this Dino V3 model on my tests. And now comes the image folder. For now, let me pause because unless you already have the image sequence of the poses that you want, you might need to go to the sequence editor first. And you can go to the sequence editor by hovering on the corner and pushing, and then selecting video sequencer. And you can select sequence and preview. And you can go to the folder that you have your video, and for example, you can drag onto this part and it will load the file. Okay, now comes the important part of the whole process. You need to select the best poses that shows the motion that you want. For example, in this case, I'm gonna get the motion until the first change of camera. So I'm gonna close here, Control End, and it will make it the last frame for the animation. Okay, now I have to, let me extend it, Control Space to make it bigger, to make it easier to see. First frame, press M on the timeline and it's gonna create this marker. Then you go for a fast movement like the drumming sequence. It's nice to use the arrow front and back to move between the sequence. So you see the most important parts that you need to mark. The first one, of course, this one, let me see, this one that where her hand stops. So I mark that, and the arc of the hand, you see that she's making a movement of arc. So I might mark this one. Press M here, on the middle of the way, another one, here, and when it's down, Let me go back. And now that it got a little bit up. Here, here, here. On the, let me go back, mark this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so you see here, let me press home, no, not home, oops. Let me show. So I've got all these frames selected. Now I can press Ctrl Space again to show the rest of the window. And what I can do, I press N on the sequence editor. So I'll have this N panel. I have a CEB tab. And here you select the place that you want these frames to be saved. So I select this folder, in my case, Sam test, accept, put a name, I'll name it as part 1. And I like to select JPEG and render. And you see that the rendered frames are in this folder. Now, after creating the frames, you use that as an input for image folder. Except you don't have to select image, you have to select the folder and select the output path. I like to save in the same folder. I'll add another one. It's like PKL P1 for part 1. Accept. Now you have everything ready to run the process. Let me erase this cube. Now we just press run Sam 3D inference, and it's gonna show this window running the process on the portable Python folder installed with Sam 3D body. It takes a while to run the first time. Oh yeah, on my system I can see that by running the human detector it uses about 8.5 gigabytes of VRAM, and when it loads the emoji 2 it goes up to, you see here, 12, I think it goes up to 15 gigabytes, or even more. But I don't know if maybe it can work on systems with lower VRAM. You gotta try. And now it's running the first second image. You see we have 14 images for it to run. Just have to wait for it to finish. And one important point, if it has a problem detecting the person on the footage, it will give an error by the moment it's detecting that specific image file, and you can continue detecting which frame was the problematic one and removing it from the folder and running it again. Usually, since, for example, it gives a problem on the image 5, I usually remove the 1, 2, 3, and 4 since it already ran on those ones, and remove the problematic one and run it again so it can finish processing the files. But okay, here it processes everything without a problem. We can take a look. It's everything inside this folder that you selected as an output, and you can see the PKL file that we need to load the pose in Blender, and there's a render with the pose. So you can take a look. If you have more than one character, you will see all of them rendered here, and you can go through all the images. Okay, now let's go to the part for loading the character. You have to press this load MHR character since we don't have anyone here. And if you have multiple characters, you have to have multiple MHR character to load it. So you have this guy selected, for example. What's nice to do is to go to the scan new. it makes more sense when you have multiple characters in the scene, but I'm gonna show the full process here. So select a PKL file, and it's gonna read and detect how many characters you have in that file. And you see here it just have one character, so you have to select character 1 to load. If you select character 2, it's gonna throw an error and it won't work because you don't have that character. So leave it in character 1. You see that the start of the name is part 1. You have to use this part 1 here to load this batch of files. That was made since maybe you want to use just one folder to put all parts that you are running, so you can select just that part. For example, you have part 1, part 2, part 3. Having different names, you can select just that name, and even with all the files of many parts, you just grab one. And when you scan new, it gets the start of the file and already puts the prefix here for you. You don't have to write it if you use the scan new. And now it's the part where you load the results. So you select the folder. In this case, my case is PKLP1 and batch load. So it starts processing, and while it's processing, the Blender will be frozen. Just have to wait. It might take a little bit depending on the amount of files that you have. But yeah, if you have the console open, you can see what it's doing. In my case, I'm showing on VS Code since I'm running in VS Code. You can, if you have loaded Blender, normally you can open the toggle console window and it's going to show those information. And you see now it's, oops, I lost it. It's in frame 41 and it finished because the last one is the 41. And where's the character? We gotta zoom out, and here it is. Now if we play, you see that it moves a little bit strange on the y-axis. So that kind of thing that you have to adjust manually in case you want. If you just want to see from the front view, it might be good enough. Let's see. If you need more definition, if you don't think the animation is good enough, you can add more frames in the video part. You can add more frames here for the parts of motion that you feel that are not good. You want it better, and you can iterate, going back and forth, creating more frames to make the animation as specific, as detailed as you want. And if you have a moving person, if it's not sit as this example, you can, what I suggest you to do, you can select the armature and go to pose mode, search for the root bone. It's a little bit strange, it's this one going to the leg. You can see here the name, it's root. And you can, for example, let me show in this case that it's moving elsewhere. What I like to do is I get a reference. For example, this person is standing still on the footage but not on the 3D pose. So I get a reference where it is, and here I can go through the keyframes. So let me go to the move tool, and I'm gonna use this as reference. So I go to the next keyframe, pressing up, and you see that it moved a little bit. So I can put it back, go to the next frame, put it back here. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You can, in the keying, I like to use the available and turn on the automatic keyframe. So now you can go to the next frame, put it back, and you see that it keeps the place. Next one, put it back. Just doing this. I think it's the easier and quick way to make it, to adjust the animation. You see, it doesn't take long. If your character is moving, you have to view in relation to the video where it should be, so you can adjust it manually. That's the sad part. You have some part of the animation you have to do it manually, unless you maybe grab it to Cascadeur and use those automated tools to help you to fix that. Now let me go out to pose mode, put it back to solid view, and let's see the result. And from side view, you see that it makes much more sense. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.